everyone, and today, as you can tell from the title, we're going to be painting in oils in my sketchbook. To get the paper ready, the night before I gessoed the paper, so I think I only did one layer though. So then today I could just start working on it. I just added a quick acrylic wash of this brown on top of it, and yeah, I did the sketch in the colour pencil so it doesn't smudge if I would if I use graphite. After that, I just went in with the oils. I started with the background since it is quite dark, and just worked my way to the lighter areas. And my goal here was at first to just fill in the page, just get the colour down, just get some shapes down, and I'll work on the rest later. I'll put the reference I'm using up on screen. It's the absolutely divine Cillian Murphy. Honestly, I think I just really wanted to draw him or paint him or anything. I might do some portraits of him later on with just some graphite as well. He's just beautiful man. Yeah, since this was also when I just finished watching Peaky Blinders, so I was still kind of obsessed with that show for a little bit and just wanted to do something with it. So I just looked at some screen caps of it, and I chose this one since the lighting was quite dramatic, so I thought I'll have a go with this one. Right now we're just coming up to the end of this first really rough layer, and just having all the colours sort of blocked in. I think I'm just going to let it dry for now for a few days, because this is sort of like the base layer, because I feel like if I just keep working on it, especially in like the face, it's just going to get all muddy and gross, and I don't want that. So I'll just leave it for a little while, let it dry, get a bit tacky, and then I'll just keep adding more layers to it. At this point, when I started working back on it, the paint was completely dry at this point, so it was kind of nice just working on top of it, sort of wholly new. And going into this next layer, I definitely knew that, especially for the face, I wanted to make it a bit warmer, the colours, since I think he's looking quite too pale and cold, since in the photo he does have quite a lot of sort of orange warm light coming from the side, because of the lamp there. So that's sort of what I started with. And I also knew that I definitely needed to push the shadows a bit more on the left side of the face, since they're just not dark enough in that first layer. I just really need to push that further, since that's what I chose the photo. I like the dramatic lighting, so I definitely needed to incorporate that. So you'll see me build that up a bit later on. When doing this face, I was also just really worried that I'm just gonna ruin the whole thing, since that's usually what kind of happens with me. I don't know, I always feel like I can never get it right, can never get the colours right, or if the colours are somewhat okay, I feel like I tend to lose like the likeness of the person. And I know, I think it's probably happened here as well, like the sketch sort of looks like him, but I think as I get on with the painting, I think I just lose that. I don't know, I think maybe something about the eyes, or just, I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's a lot harder for me to capture likeness through paintings of somebody. But I guess all that will just come in time with some practice, won't it? Also, what ended up giving me quite a bit of trouble in the end was that lamp. I don't know, it just wasn't looking right, same with like the background, since like I wanted everything to be sort of still looking quite loose, since I do like that look in paintings. I don't want it to just be like really hyper realistic or something, since I do enjoy works of art that you can see it is a painting, you can see the brush strokes, you can see the shapes. So I want it realistic, but I don't want it like too crazy realistic, and I think it's just, hard to achieve, obviously. But yeah, that lamp, I don't know why it gave me so much trouble in the end. I think it just looks a bit funny. I don't know. I know, you'll probably see what I mean as I get to it when I'm painting it, like doing more in the background. I ended up doing this painting in just the 2 sittings, and this second layer took me so much longer than the first. I didn't want to spend too crazy long on it, so I tried to hurry up a bit, but honestly painting just takes me a long time, I think, even if it's something small like this in my sketchbook that I know I just want to keep a bit loose and it's just for fun, for practice. it still just took me a long time. I don't know how long I spent on this second layer. It must have been, honestly, it was probably like 4 or 5 hours or something. I don't know, because that first like initial layer of just putting down the colors, I think that maybe probably no longer than an hour, I think. But you know, that was just very rough, very sketchy. And here I think I just ended up going over and over some colors and some shapes over and over again, so I think that just added to the time. And as much as I love painting in my sketchbook, I think it's just really sort of freeing and so much less pressure. It does mean I couldn't use my sketchbook for a while it was just drying. I know I worked on some other things, but yeah, that's the only problem with the oil painting in my sketchbook, since that first layer, I think it probably dried in like 5 days or so, and now after this one, I don't know. I think at the moment now, because it's been sitting there for a little while, I think it's been like another 5 days, and there's one area that's still sort of sticky. So if I've been using my sketchbook now, I just sort of put a piece of paper in and just close it and try not to press on it too much, since it is a little bit tacky still in some areas. But for the most part, it's dry. And while I could maybe use acrylics more in my sketchbook, I do love how oils just blend and mix, and you know, just the fact that they don't dry so quickly. You can really take the time to mix things. Since with acrylics, I always feel like I'm under pressure with time. I was thinking that maybe I could just get a different sketchbook that I specifically use for just painting in, so I could get a nicer thicker paper one as well, so it can really hold up just all the gesso and all the layers. That could be something fun I could do, but I'm not quite sure yet, since I do like just having the one sketchbook for a certain time period. I think in the end it sort of came out alright. I'm not like crazy about it, but I also don't hate it, so I think it's alright for a little practice in my sketchbook. So as we're approaching the end of this video, I think I'm just gonna leave the rest of it just with a time lapse, and you can keep watching if you like. And yeah, just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again.